Screenwriting tends to focus a lot on story and structure. We're going to examine a film that definitely has that, but goes beyond it and creates its own set of rules. That film is 96, written and directed by C. Prem Kumar. There will be spoilers ahead. My name is Akshay, and this is 96 focuses on a narrative that has been done to death in movies: the love story. It is able to make a very popular and very common kind of story feel fresh, and it does so by playing with the format of a cinematic story. Here's how. Not focusing on character goals. What usually makes up an entire film is a character setting out to achieve something, even in the case of romantic films. In 96, the characters don't really have clear set goals, as the story does not really depend on it. The film is about Ram and Janu, who are childhood sweethearts and meet after 22 years at a high school reunion. The story mainly focuses on that one night where the two catch up on all those years they never saw each other. This kind of story where two characters who spend a lot of time with each other is quite difficult to pull off, but it has been done well in romantic films such as Raincoat, Before Sunrise, Before We Go, Highway, and Lost in Translation. In fact, in 96, the two characters only meet over an hour into the film. When there's no definite goal in the story, what can keep us engaged? That brings me to the next point. Investing in characters. We have to be emotionally invested in our characters. Before the adult Ram and Janu even meet, the writer takes us back in time to the 90s, when Ram and Janu are in high school and start to develop feelings for each other. This whole flashback captures their history, their relationship, and there's even a sense of nostalgia and relatability. School life, crushes, friends, and that feeling of first love. You have to make your audience know your characters well enough to care for them. Without this flashback, having the adult Janu arriving at the reunion later on would not be impactful. The investment in the two characters helps build up the anticipation when both of them finally meet as adults. The love story of Ram and Janu abruptly ends in the first half, when teenage Ram has to leave his hometown and Janu behind due to unfortunate circumstances. 22 years later, Ram is single, but Janu is married with a kid and settled in Singapore. All of this is established before we even reach the film's midpoint. Where do we go from here? The meta story. The second half is overall a meditation of the possibilities of Ram and Janu's love story. The adult Ram and Janu each describe their perspectives during the time they have been apart. Ram and Janu cannot get back together for obvious reasons. However, the icing on the cake is the story Janu narrates to Ram's photography students who mistake her for his wife. She gives a positive conclusion to their doomed love story. Like the writer-director, Ram and Janu are essentially storytellers. Through their small stories, we as an audience are engaged. No character arcs. A protagonist usually evolves as the story progresses. If not the protagonist, then usually the characters around him or her, or his or her surroundings. In 96, Ram and Janu do not necessarily change over the course of their fateful reunion. But there is a change in their dynamic from awkward and silent to something deep and meaningful. This change could even be suggested visually. In the beginning, Ram is bearded, has salt and pepper hair, and wears a camouflage-colored shirt. That camouflage design symbolizes Ram being guarded with his feelings. But later on, when Janu gets him to open up, he gets rid of that shirt. He gets a haircut, shave, and a dye job, and we see a younger-looking Ram. Janu wears a yellow kurti, its bright color symbolizing the joy the two feel in each other's company. In the end, as she painfully bids goodbye to Ram, she wears a grey kurti, possibly suggesting the shift in her emotional state from joy to grief. In spite of all these changes, I feel Ram and Janu continue to be who they always were. It's just that now both of them have gotten closure in their relationship. It's not like they really needed to change. Ram would continue being the painfully shy and reserved man he always was. And Janu would always be the more confident one. And she would just continue living her life the way she always has. So there are no strong character goals, there are no strong character arcs. So how is a film like this supposed to engage us from start to finish? Creating an experience. Sure, a film can have a great plot and great characters to be fun to watch, but I feel it needs to be much more than that. It needs to make use of all these elements to give us an experience. And 96 achieves that experience. One cannot ignore how the acting, direction, cinematography, and music support the writing so well to give us that experience. Small but memorable moments are there throughout the story. For example, when Ram is first introduced, photographing several scenic places across India. When Ram and Janu casually stroll along a highway late at night. When Ram places his hand on Janu's while he is dropping her to the airport. While rewatching the film, I realized that I was not fully aware about the film's story, but rather about how the film made me feel. One comment that I see a lot about the film online is that 96 is not a film, it's an emotion. After watching the film, I get what that line means. Like us, the audience, Ram and Janu spend time together because they want to cherish a happy, memorable experience before going back into the reality of their lives. And that was my perspective on this tender, beautiful film. I would love to know what are your thoughts on 96? What are your thoughts on this video? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please do share this all over. If you love cinema, please subscribe to this channel for more content. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.